Welcome to the Madden 20 New York Jets franchise. Let's go ahead and break down what happened from Week 16 facing the Pittsburgh Steelers. We did have a breakout opportunity for Jamal Adams. As you can see from the score, we took quite a whaling. So we shall find out now if he was actually able to get what would factor trait. So that's not the game I wanted to have. Coach, elite defenders impact the game. They intercept passes, force fumbles, sack the quarterback. I didn't do enough of that today, so what does that say about me? So, kind of down on himself. You can't necessarily blame him. The whole team severely underperformed. But with that said, let's take a look at the stats on the game. So 277 yards versus 294, not too bad. We know it's probably skewed towards the passing offense. Ben Roethlisberger, 228 in the touchdown. Trevor Siemian, if you want to call it that, having a better game. 264 yards, only one interception, down from the two he had before. He did take 4 sacks, though. Montgomery, Ty Montgomery, he has 11 attempts, 39 yards. Nobody else on the team actually had any rushing attempts. It looks like DeAndre Washington potentially and Isaiah Ford. Isaiah Ford leads the way though, 6 receptions as well as yardage, 67. So his best game of the season so far, I believe. Ty Montgomery doing a lot better this week in the running game compared to before. Uh, Auden Tate as well, 6 and 54. Uh, I really wish I wouldn't mind these two really developing for us. You can't ask for too much more than 6'5", 225, and a few physical traits. Chris Herndon, decent enough game. Quincy Enunwa doing what he. Doga, the offenders of allowing those sacks for us. C.J. Mosley, Jamal Adams, and Terrence Brooks leads the way. I believe Adams had the classic either a combination of 3 tackles for loss, sacks, interceptions, forced fumbles, or we were supposed to hold them under like 100 total passing yards or get 3 turnovers as a team, I believe. We weren't able to achieve that at all. But Jordan Jenkins, a few other players get into the backfield. We didn't get any sacks on the day, no interceptions. So not a whole lot of great things to speak about at all during that week. But that does leave us at 4-11. With that said, we go into the end of the season, potentially ending with a 4-12 record. So let's go ahead and finish wrapping up some of these last minute contracts. All right. Now, for starters, let's kick things off with Deontay Burnett. So he had a really, really strong first game when we did allow him to play due to injury. And then when we started him as well, so on this season, 28 receptions, 276 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Keep in mind, he went from being a fourth or fifth depth chart player to a starter for a little while. Then injury kind of bounced him around back and forth as we promoted others from the practice squad. So nothing that extremely stands out. I don't mind keeping him around just for the hell of it, I guess. We do have the other free agents that we brought up as well that potentially contributed, a little bit more. Take a look at it on a game by game basis. Actually, one sec. Yeah, he's kind of had, you can see his snaps slowly dropping throughout the season. That's never a good thing. But 4 for 59. He has a touchdown, 2 for 44 and one. A lot of other really minor games, and then not really any playing time, snap wise, enough to really cause too much of an impact. I think at this point, it's safe to say that we don't need to keep him around. If the offseason goes according to plan, Still would have only been 1.69 mil a year, but I mean, we can invest that cap into better players or keeping some others that we actually can develop, rightfully so. Won the season for DeAndre Washington, coming in 17 attempts, 70 yards. He has a touchdown. Um, Not a whole lot of great things to really speak about here either for him. And we can see his carries slowly kind of dwindle down as well. Receiving department, not really a whole lot of anything there. Uh, yeah, another person that's been dwindling down. We brought him in really just to kind of take a flyer and see if he'd be able to come in and do anything significant for us once we had the injury to our main two running backs. So, not a whole lot to complain about there at all. I do want to focus more on the back end again, real quick. Looks like it picks up a little bit as you get into the latter stages of this. Okay, I don't want to waste any scouting points. So let's check out the right side. It's just a really odd class at a time where we need a huge influx of talent. And I can't necessarily say that it's obvious that we'll be able to hit on all of the picks that we have. So we might be shuffling a lot of stuff into the next year, or using that capital, bring in established players. I don't mind that at all. Finish up our training for the year. All right, we do have some, end of the season upgrades here. So Jamal Adams, pour this into hybrid skill trait. +3 awareness, awesome. +1 press and tackle. Awareness is really underrated. I like Sim because you can kind of override a lot of things if you're a decent Madden player. Whereas you really need to focus on the chemistry of the team and how you put things together when you're actually using the sim features. Chad Williams, another one that we brought in from practice squad, I believe. We might have had to dip into the free agency pool for him. But we just got hit with a rash of injuries all over the place between like weeks 10 and probably actually like week 7 to 13 or so. All right, so that wraps up things there. I do want to take a look not at the depth chart, but for one at the awards. See where things are falling into place at. So Marcus Mariota looks like he's going to be the league MVP. Breeze and Aaron Rodgers behind him, so he's kind of having a career revival. Coach of the Year, Ron Rivera, 12-3 for the Panthers. Dan Quinn doing another excellent job in Atlanta, and then Sean McVay with the Rams, of course. In the AFC, Marcus Mariota, of course, Offensive Player of the Year. Josh Allen and Deshaun Watson behind him. CJ Mosley looks like he's going to take the Defensive Player of the Year award. That'll help us out tremendously just from a experience standpoint. Bernard McHenry and Avery Williamson got beat out, so Avery Williamson went on to definitely have a pretty strong performance for New England. Offensive rookies, we know we're not here, but Marquise Brown of the Ravens, Paris Campbell, and Easton Stick for the Chiefs there. Defensive Rookie of the Year, looks like Quinnen Williams is going to run away with it. Ed Oliver Jr. from the Bills, close second. They were compared quite a bit in the draft. And then Juan Thornhill. We also had some potential bids for Ja'Kai Polite and Blake Cashman somehow. I'm still stumped by that one a little bit. No, he's had a few splash plays, but nothing crazy. Phillip Rivers, best quarterback. It's ironic that Marcus Mariota will be MVP, but not necessarily best quarterback. Josh Allen in the top three there as well. Kareem Hunt, James Conner, Le'Veon Bell. At the running back position, Keenan Allen, Cole Beasley, T.Y. Hilton of the Colts. Offensive line, Marshall Yanda crushing it. Mitchell Schwartz, and Rodney Hudson, the center there for the Raiders. Ronnie Stanley as well for the Ravens. I was curious to see if we've seen Orlando Brown pop up there. On the D-line, Myles Garrett is beating out Quinnen Williams and Leonard Williams at the moment, so maybe with the strong game, we edged them out. That'll be a nice little extra bit of hardware that the rookie earns himself potentially. Linebacking core, C.J. Mosley, of course, Deontay Hightower, and Avery Williamson. So Patriots have both their middle linebackers there. Bradley Roby, Tre'Davious White, and Casey Hayward there on the back end. And kicking wise, Josh Lambo, Adam Vinatieri, and Michael Badgley of the Chargers. Pretty interesting. Let's take a look quickly at where we're at in the standings and kind of game plan where we'll be at. So remember, our second number one pick is with the Lions. So currently, we are receiving the number one pick. Bills, who are currently in wild card positioning, looking to try to secure them. Let me see, did the Patriots lock down one? No, they don't. So they are potentially battling for number one in the division. So number one pick for us, potentially as low as let's say they all lose out. So potentially no worse than pick number 7. We'll kind of see what happens there. And we're looking at about pick 23 for the Lions. So they were able to finesse us and parlay a lot of those extra draft picks into capital for themselves while handicapping us a bit and rewarding us with like a playoff team kind of pick. With that said, we will go ahead and dive into the game and see where things officially end up for us. It is bittersweet news that we do have that top spot potentially locked down. I definitely am looking forward to that, considering that is essentially what we traded, assuming we would have potentially 2 top 5 picks. But with that said, guys, I will see you after the game, and we'll potentially either break down things then, or we'll dive officially into the off season and include it as part of that. I'll catch you guys at the end.
Well, to no one's surprise, here we go. The final week of the NFL season, Week 17, is underway. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
All day, baby, all day.
So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. Bringing them out, the second-year quarterback from Wyoming, Josh Allen. And after the 2018 draft, what everybody knew was that Allen had great arm strength. But what folks discovered in his rookie season is how good of a runner he is. He finished second only to Lamar Jackson in rushing by a quarterback with 631 yards total, and had an NFL record 3-game stretch where he was over 95 yards. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And here's our first look today at this offense.
And let's start with LaShawn Shady McCoy, their star running back. He can do everything. Run it inside, get to the perimeter, and, of course, catch it out of the backfield.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. LaShawn McCoy, the 31-year-old running back, his first carry. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. We know this offense, they're built around passing the football. That time, the running game didn't suit them so well.
Not so well, but they have to do it every so often. You have to be able to control the pass rush a little bit, make them somewhat hesitant before they come and get your quarterback. At least have the illusion that you have a running game.
To throw, it's Allen. He's going deep for Brown. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The safety, Jamal Adams, able to break that one up.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. A big kick, 50 yards that time with a return of 4. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10.
Ready, break. The mic, watch 49. Squeeze, squeeze, double, double. Tight end left, tight end left. Hey, boys, we got 4 down. Hit it.
On 1st down, Simeon. He's got Herndon, his tight end. The offensive starters now for the Jets.
As we talk more and more about this league becoming a passing league, how about tight end Chris Herndon, the second-year pro out of the University of Miami, had a big rookie season, averaged nearly 13 yards per catch, showing sure hands and really nice moves downfield.
And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down. A look now at the Buffalo defense. They were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
Yeah, they gave up 17 points, but that's about what you consider the break-even mark. If you give up 17 points a game all year long, you're thinking you're going to be a playoff team. That's what you're looking for. Room to improve, of course. A pretty nice effort.
Throwing on 3rd down, Simeon. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That's a quarterback in for the sack, Tre'Davious White.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
On 4th down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. With it is Brown. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Out come the Bills as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And as things start to come into focus here in the final weekend, their future still up in the air. Currently in possession of the 5 spot, but could fall entirely out of the postseason if this final day doesn't go their way.
Well, we're looking forward to the playoffs because, fortunately enough, we're going to be there to call some of these games.
Will.
But when you're sitting where they are right now, the playoffs start with this game. They can't wait till next week and say, well, let's see if we're no, they have to win this one to ensure that they're going to go. So their playoff run actually begins a week early.
By the way, I got my assignment for the playoffs. They have me doing every game.
I like that.
Are you there, too?
I like that. I just hope I'm with you.
I hope so as well. Now a 1st down carry here for McCoy. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
There we go. Nice play,
We'll
baby.
look now at our starting defense. They are number 2 in the NFL against the run right now, Charles.
They've established themselves pretty well throughout this season, but boy, what a competitive group of people. They do not like that ranking they have now because they think that they're better, and they're out to prove it again in this game.
You go night-night. Some go night-night. Check three, check three, check three.
From the 40 now on second down. Allen got a man. It's Brown.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
7 yards there and a first down.
Watch left, watch left, watch left. He's tight right there, he's tight right there.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. It's caught. Smith. The numbers there in last week's game for Smith. 6 catches, 63 yards.
And he was able to get open there, but that's not always easy against this bunch defensively. We are deep enough into the season where numbers count. This is the #1 rated defense in the NFL. He'll have a tough time.
So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Brandon Copeland in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. So we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC as the Jets come back out on offense. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
On second down now, it's Montgomery. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. From the gun on 3rd, Simeon. Caught by Montgomery. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down.
Get ready, get ready.
It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. That's now 4 tackles for loss if you add the 3 he had last week to the 1 here in the first quarter.
And some of it comes from vision. And when you're playing defensive end, especially with those teams that want to take their D ends and move them out a little bit wider so they can see into the offensive backfield, they can see things develop, able to make plays, then they use their athletic ability to take over and spill them.
Down. 18 Gator. Mike, 49. Let's go, D. It's going to be a long day.
Back to the ground, this time Montgomery.
Crunch, crunch.
That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad.
Yeah, baby.
A shotgun snap for Simeon. And Tate's got it. And he's got a first down as a tackle made at the Bills' 45-yard line.
A gain of 18 on the play. First down, New York.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 45-yard line. Out of the gun, Simeon. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Simeon incomplete on first. Here's 2nd and 10 now.
It's now 2nd and 10.
Montgomery back to the ground, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. They'll fake the handoff. Now Simeon. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now Edwards to kick as he sends it away. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And the magnitude of this game, everybody knows it. The fans, obviously the players and coaches, there's just with them a palpable buzz right now. They know they control their own destiny.
Win and you're in. And I think every player wants that. I think every coach wants that. I haven't been in an organization yet that wants to be in a game where they have to rely on other teams to get them to their goals. In this situation, it's very cut and dry. Win, and you're in the playoffs. That's their mission. That's their challenge. And you know they've chosen to accept it.
And what they told us is this has been the most focused week of practice we've had all year. You wouldn't expect any different.
Yeah, and you know, at the beginning of the season, you have multiple goals. They just have one now. Win the game.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. It's caught. Jones. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Jones last year led the Bills, 652 receiving yards, 7 touchdowns, more than doubled his production from 2017. Now they're hoping for an even bigger bump this year. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Hey, we got to get to the ball, D. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving.
Allen hands off to McCoy. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
Double tight, double tight.
From the 41, Allen. Open man is Kroom, the tight end. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Let's go.
3rd and 4.
We're scoreless after 1.
No score.
Second quarter now in Buffalo. It's the Bills in control of the football. They'll come up on a 3rd and 4 here to start things out.
Come off the ball hard. Check. Lucky.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And this one caught by Beasley. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Well, the Bills send the punter out as he's on here to punt it away. He gets us away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. Excellent placement. And off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. So, what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
Oh, that's you, partner. To Montgomery to begin the drive. And he's able to get him a small cushion before being taken down at the 5, a gain of 3.
Don't be mad. Don't be mad.
On 2nd down, Montgomery. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10.
Oh, ready.
The Jets on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Simeon now to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he's on to punt for New York. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Brown with his stick skills. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Bills are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. 13 games going on here in this final Sunday of 2019, the final Sunday of the regular season. 3 more games still to come following us. Raiders, Broncos, Cards, Rams, and Niners, Seahawks. And then we'll know the 12 teams who will continue on into the playoffs starting next Saturday here on EA Sports. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. The tight end, Lee Smith, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 6.
On 3rd down, Allen. The open man is Smith. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 12 yards that time, and a Bills 1st down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a 1st down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer.
Allen going to leave it on the draw for McCoy. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Yo, 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 yo.
On 2nd down, it's McCoy. Call it an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be 3rd down. The Bills on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And he finds Beasley complete. And he's going to get the 1st down as they bring him down at the 23. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the 3rd down conversion.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
To the air, Allen firing quickly here, and that's complete.
Let's go.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 12 yards that time, and a Bills 1st down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, there in coverage. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Well, this drive, they're a perfect 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions, but they need a full 10 yards here. Now Allen, he'll set up the screen to McCoy. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 5 yards on the screen, but that'll take us to 4th down.
It's
Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So off goes Allen, and on comes Stephen Hauschka for the Buffalo field goal. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and the Bills will take a 3-0 lead. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
Fielded about a yard deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. New York set to take the field. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
On second down now, it's Montgomery, and he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Jet first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Let's go now. 50, plant. Mike, you're not ready. You're not ready.
Now a first down throw, Simeon. Herndon's got it complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Pick it up.
Now Simeon. He's got his man. This is Tate. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 17 yards for the Jets there as they've got themselves a first down.
First down, Jets.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend, and nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Let's go. 90, Wolf. Mine's 49. I'm coming, baby. I'm coming. Ready to go. Woo! 49. Yeah. 49.
On first down, it's Simeon. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Lorenzo Alexander in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
There.
Cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11.
I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over.
Off of play action. Simeon. The pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Big Shaq Lawson gets the sack there.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Simeon in need of something big following that sack, facing 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Simeon. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
We've already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
On 4th down, the Jets turning to Chandler Catanzaro for the field goal try. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And it is good. Oh, that one looked to be in trouble the whole way, but it does get over the bar. And that will tie us at 3-3. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. This one taken from the 7. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And the Bills getting set to go. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Play action. Now it's Allen. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk. They'll take a look at it, communicate.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. The Bills send the punter out. He's been terrific so far. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. New York set to take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Simeon on first down. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Lorenzo Alexander has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. We'll start up at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, and it's the Patriots leading that one in the second quarter. Le'Veon Bell with a couple of touchdowns there. From there, let's get down to Baltimore to check in on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they've got the lead in their matchup with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Seth Roberts, a touchdown reception. Lastly, we head to the Gulf Coast and check on the Bucs at home in Tampa. And they've got the lead in that one over the visiting Atlanta Falcons. Chris Godwin, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been as tight as we expected, all tied through one half of play. For the call of the second half, let's get it back to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And New York set to take the field. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. And the pass complete to Anunwa. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Now Montgomery. Montgomery hit and the ball is loose. And the Bills have recovered.
Our ball, baby, our ball.
Playing in snow brings so many other factors into the game. It's not just trying to take care of the ball, and we just saw there that that's difficult to do, but just trying to keep your feet and carry out your assignments and make sure you're comfortable while you're out there playing. Are you warm enough in your clothing? A million things going on, but the biggest one, hold on to the ball.
So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. Tie game, but they'll get excellent starting field position here to begin the second half.
And it's the starting field position that makes an offensive coordinator maybe bolder than normal. Maybe you want to take the big shot right now. Go for a big play and get their attention early.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll try to get something going with Ty Montgomery. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back.
Set. 60 yard. 49. Here we go, here we go. Go.
On 1st down, Moore. And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. A give to Montgomery out of the gun. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Here's Simeon. Caught by his tight end, Wesco. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the 1st. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's Lachlan Edwards now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And look at this, it's a fake. Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Simeon. Throw complete to Herndon. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. A gain of 6 there on 1st. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
False start, offense.
Let's go now.
So pin that one on the rookie right tackle.
Remember those days when the right side was simply the run-blocking side? Now you're dealing with some of the better pass rushers in the league. It'll make you a little jittery.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Newton again the intended target. Third down here. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals. It's 6-3. Well, maybe a little bit of an anxious moment there as that ball got closer and closer, but it does curl in.
Yeah, actually did a little bit of a slow dance there with the left upright, didn't it? But had just enough space, as you said, for it to curl in.
This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the 3rd quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. 10th carry now for McCoy. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And McCoy is going to be stopped up short. He didn't get it. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter. No time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
The Bills send the punter out as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10.
Let's go, D. Big series right here. So we got to step it up.
They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. Now as we look down, it appears we've got a jet shaken up on the play. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
They'll try the counter with Washington. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Rabbit, 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 rabbit. Sit up. Get it.
They run with Washington. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Defensively, Harrison Phillips there to stop him.
Hey. 4 down, 4 down, 4 down. Ready?
Draw play, Washington, and he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
A first carry for Trenton Cannon, and he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he's on to punt for New York. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Bills offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Again, it's McCoy. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down. McCoy, 5th season with the Bills after those 6 in Philadelphia. And remember, he had 4 or 5 years as a 1,000-yard rusher, but then last season really dipped down, just above 500 yards, only 3 touchdowns. Of course, watch the age as well. He did turn 31 back in July. Now a draw play. This is McCoy. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
We got 4.
Here's a carry for a former starter. This is T.J. Yeldon.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Fights him off. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. And now they'll throw with Allen. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pickup there, a 22.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They'll run it with McCoy. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
53. 53. Mike. Focus, defense, focus.
They go now to McCoy. He's seen a ton of action this afternoon. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
44. Mike, 44. Watch the pass.
A first carry now for the BYU man. It's Jamal Williams. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now in Buffalo. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter.
Mike, watch the run. Watch the run. Alert 3. Alert.
On 2nd down, it's McCoy. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
Number 53. Mike, 53.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. And he's got it. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown.
Good job.
Cole Beasley with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Bills have retaken the lead. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie. Because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more. Reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And that will make this a 4-point game. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And it culminates in a Bills touchdown. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This will be fielded at the 8. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
17 yards for the Jets there as they've got themselves a first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield, a really nice pickup.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Simeon. That's complete to Trenton Cannon, the running back. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They run from the shotgun with Washington. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. The Jets on 3rd down, not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. He needed a yard. That's what he got. And it's going to earn him a new set of downs. And, Charles, you look at this offense, their struggles moving the ball well documented. Dead last in the NFL in first downs, but signs of life there.
Yeah, and you and I do, I think, a really good job of respecting the game and respecting the teams. But this squad, they're in a position now where their fan base gets excited when they pick up a first down. They cheer almost like they picked up a touchdown.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. On 2nd down, Washington. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. The Jets on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Simeon. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. They have the first down with that gain of 4 yards.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
Simeon will bring him up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Back to throw, Simeon. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Ford. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Simeon. And he's got this complete to Bellamy. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on first and goal. Try to pound it in with Washington, and now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal. Now whistles come in before the snap. Looked like one of the Jets may have moved. The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Quincy Enunwa, his first touchdown on the year. And the Jets have once again taken the lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet, or they just executed better. Because they had two previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Extra point good by Catanzaro. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offensive summit.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, baby!
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Allen going to throw. Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's 3rd down. To throw on 3rd down, Allen. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
Meanwhile, in Foxborough, they're in the 4th quarter. And the Patriots, they've extended their lead in that one. Le'Veon Bell, fantastic on the ground. Up over 170 yards now with a couple of touchdowns added on. Allen, he's got Smith here. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down. Again, they'll throw with Allen. And his throw's going to be incomplete. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Allen to throw once more. And this will be caught by Brown. And he'll only get this to the 47. He needed a few more yards to pick up the first. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, It's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The Bills send the punter out as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Trevor Siemian ready to retake the field. And those numbers, they kind of tell the story of his game so far. Started off not so hot. Now he's really heated up.
And remember, he signed up for duty as the guy who leads the team, right? The field general, the signal caller. So when things go rocky early, he can't just exit out and ask someone else to pick things up. He's got to do it himself, and that's what he's done here in this game.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Here's Lachlan Edwards now. And you wonder, could they possibly think about taking a safety here? And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Here now, a look at LaShawn McCoy. And after a sluggish start, he's really bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
And you're a baseball guy, partner. How many at-bats over the course of a baseball season?
Oh, boy, four in a game.
Yeah, about 4 in a game.
4 times 162.
350 or so, right? Sometimes it takes a while for a guy to get going. That's my point. It's not the first few carries. You don't worry about that. As they go along, get that guy lathered up, get those blocking assignments down. Those 2-yard gains turn into bigger gains as the game moves along.
14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs. He finds McCoy. And McCoy loses the football. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. If ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
That's what I do. Shift.
He'll look to throw. And his pass incomplete. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
Hey, we got 4 down.
To throw is Allen. And that's caught by Beasley. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29.
Hey, you're on an island over there.
Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Good job.
He's back to throw.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
On 3rd down, here's McCoy. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. They'll look to throw. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. Well, you feel the excitement build on those fourth down plays. Defense has to stay out there, but for the offense, when that thing doesn't work out, such disappointment.
It can absolutely be a deflator, but how about the defensive guys? If they stop you on fourth down, they are absolutely elevated going to their bench.
They're elevated now. Big stop on fourth down. Now the Jets offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game.
Mike, 49. You got nothing today. You got nothing.
And they will take a knee here. And that knee will do it. So they snap the losing streak. Always a good feeling.
Yeah, I don't know if this one right here, when they're taking a knee, is as much exultation as exhalation, right? They just breathe a sigh of relief. Finally got a win. Needed one desperately.
So it's a victory here for the New York Jets. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game. No turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look,